Hello students, how are you all? This is Anup sir, your English teacher. Students, in this video, we are going to understand the lesson that is In the Kingdom of Fools, which is taken from the folk tales by A.K. Ramanujan. Students, before we begin with the lesson, let me give you a small introduction on this lesson and discuss the title of this lesson. So students, Kannada is a regional language mainly spoken in the state of Karnataka. This story is a Kannada folk tale. Folk tale is a story which is passed on from one generation to another. It is taken from the book Folk Tales from India written by A.K. Ramanujan. So students, let's discuss the title of this lesson. In the Kingdom of Fools, which means the state where people are not so wise, they are not intelligent. In this story, the king, his ministers, and his advisors are fools. That means that they are not wise and intelligent. When this kind of people rule the kingdom, then what all happens has been told in the story in a humorous way. So, students, now let's begin with the lesson. In the kingdom of fools, both the king and the ministers were idiots. Students, here the word idiots means the people who are not intelligent. So, students, at the beginning of this lesson, the writer tells us this is the story of a kingdom which is different from other kingdoms. Here, the king and his ministers both are unintelligent. They didn't want to run things like other kings. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. So, students, the king and his ministers did not want to run their kingdom like other kings did. So they decided to do something different. They started treating night as day and day as night. They ordered that the work which was done at night would be done during the daytime, and the work which was done during the day will be done during the night time. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their businesses only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. Students, here the word till means to cultivate land for farming. So, students, they passed on an order that everyone in the kingdom would be working at night. Anybody who slept at night would be punished. The farmers would do farming at night, and the one who run businesses would do business at night. As soon as the sun came up, everyone should be sleeping. If anyone would disobey the rule, would be punished with death. The people did as they were told for fear of death. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. So, students, the people were scared that if they did not obey the king's order, they would be sentenced with death penalty. So, they obeyed the order, although it was very strange. The king and his minister, both the fools, were very happy that all the people in the kingdom were following their orders. They were happy that their plan was going towards success. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Everyone was sleeping, not a mouse stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. Students, here the word stirring means moving around. The word guru means saint. So, students, one day a saint arrived in the kingdom of fools. along with one of his disciples. He saw that it was a very beautiful city. It was a sunny day, but could not find a single man moving around in the street in that city. They were surprised. Everyone was sleeping. And the writer says that they could not find a single mouse moving around, which means that it was so quiet as even the tiniest creature, the mice, was sleeping. The people had taught the cattle too to sleep during the daytime. So everyone, human as well as animal, was sleeping at the daytime in that city. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its night business. Students, here the word amazed means shocked and surprised. So, students, the Guru and his disciple did not know that a strange kind of order had been passed in the city. So, they were surprised to see that everyone was sleeping during daytime. They kept on wandering around the whole city, and as soon as it was night, everyone woke up and started doing their work. Businessmen were doing their business, and farmers started to farm. They were surprised to see this kind of behavior in this strange kingdom. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same, a single dudu. Whether they brought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a dudu. Students, the word dudu means money in Kannada language. So, students, the Guru and his disciple were very hungry. When the shops opened at night, they went to buy groceries. They were surprised to see that whatever they bought from the shops cost only one dudu. The things were very cheap out there. Whether you buy a big bunch of bananas or you buy a big bag of rice, it costs only one dudu. Everything was at the same price in the kingdom of fools. The Guru and his disciple were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. So, students, the Guru and his disciple were very happy because the food in this kingdom was very cheap. They could buy a lot of food just for a rupee. When they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay here. So, students, when the Guru and his disciple cooked and ate their food, the Guru realized that the kingdom was a kingdom of fools and decided not to stay there any longer because it was unsafe for them to stay between the fools. This is no place for us. Let's go, he said to the disciple. So, students, the wise Guru told his disciple that the place was not right for them and asked them to leave at once. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was good, cheap food. So, students, this disciple was a foodie. He loved to eat, and that is why he did not want to leave this place because the food was cheap here. The Guru said, "They are all fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next." So, students, Guru tried to make his disciple understand and told him that everyone out in this city was fools and are very dangerous. The kingdom would not last for a long time and they could harm them too. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. So, students, this disciple is not foresighted like his guru and could not understand what his guru was trying to say. He wanted to live there only and enjoy the cheap food. The guru finally gave up and said, "Do what you want, I'm going," and left. So, students, finally, the guru was fed up and he left alone, leaving the disciple behind. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street side sacred bull. So, students, the disciple stayed back in the kingdom of fools, and every day he ate a lot of food, due to which he became fat like a huge bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. And as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. So, students, one day a thief entered a merchant's house. He made a hole in the wall to gain access into the house. When he was about to move out of the house after looting all the things, the wall broke and fell down on his head, and he died there only. His brother ran to the king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to be blamed. He should have built a good strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice." So, students, the thief's younger brother went to the king and complained that his brother was following his ancient trade, although the ancient trade was robbery, a crime. While he was working, the wall fell on his head and he was killed. The thief's brother was taking advantage of the king's foolishness. He said that the merchant whose wall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit. He was the criminal. He should have made a strong wall. He requested the king to punish the merchant and get the compensation for his family. The king said, "Justice will be done. Don't worry," and at once summoned the owner of the house. Students, here the word summoned means to call upon someone. So, students, the king was so foolish that he did not consider the fact that the dead man was committing theft at the time of his death. He only thought that the man died because the wall fell on him, and the owner of the house whose wall fell on him had to be punished. So, he called the merchant. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What's your name?" "Such and such, your highness." "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him." The accused pleads guilty. "Your wall killed the man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." So, students, as soon as the merchant approached, the king asked his name. Then the king asked him whether he was at home when the dead man, the thief, was burgling his house. The merchant replied that he was at home only. The thief made a hole in the wall and entered his house, and when he was trying to go out, the wall fell on him because it was too weak. Then the king told the merchant that he was guilty. He did wrong. Due to his weak wall, the thief died, and now he would punish the merchant. "Lord," said the helpless merchant, "I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him." "Who is that?" My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. So, students, the merchant pleaded in front of the king, requested that, my lord, it was not my fault that the robber had died. The wall was weak because the person who made the wall did not construct it properly. Hence, you should punish him. And further, he added that the wall was built during his father's time. The person who built the wall lives till now. He's an old man and lives nearby. The king sent out messengers to build in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. Students, here the word bricklayer is a person who lays the bricks and builds the wall. So, students, the king sends his soldiers to call the bricklayer who built the wall. They tied his hands and feet and brought him in the king's palace. You there, did you build the man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. So, students, when the bricklayer was summoned in the king's palace, the king asks the bricklayer if he built the wall in the merchant's father's time. And the bricklayer replied that yes, he did build that wall. What kind of wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. So, students, the king said that the man had built a weak wall. The wall fell on the poor thief's head and killed him. The bricklayer would be punished for this crime. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was not good, but that was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall. I was building. You must get the dancing girl. I know where she lives. So, students, everyone is passing on the blame to another person. When the king was about to pass an order to execute the bricklayer, he requested the king to listen to him. He agreed that he did not make the wall properly. It was because of a dancing girl who was roaming around in the street and her anklets were making jingling sounds. Due to her anklets' jingling sound, he was not able to concentrate on his work and so built a weak wall. It was not his mistake. It was the fault of the girl. He added that he knew where this dancing girl lived. She should be punished instead of him. You are right. The case deepens. We must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. Let's get the dancer. Where she is. So, students, the king was satisfied with the bricklayer's explanation. He was convinced with him. He tells that this case is very complicated and will not be able to solve it so easily. He ordered his messengers to get the dancing girl. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Did you walk up and down the street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. It has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. So, students, the dancing girl had become an old woman and she was trembling as she entered the court. The king asked her that many years ago was she dancing and roaming around in the lane while the bricklayer was constructing the wall? Her movement distracted him. She confirmed him that yes, she was. She remembers everything. He told her that as she was roaming around with her anklets jingling, it distracted the bricklayer. Due to this, he could not do his work properly. He built a bad wall which fell on the thief and he was killed. It was because of her that the thief died, and she would be punished with death due to this crime. So students, this is all about this video. We'll continue this lesson in the next video. Till then, this is Anup sir saying thank you and goodbye.